Hey, welcome to Quick Review by GreyElephant Gaming, and we're going to do these in a little bit more ad-lib kind of format. I basically just did finish doing the playthrough, and I'm going to go over what I like or possibly don't like about this game, mainly compared to Terra Mystica, you know, the game that actually birthed this one. It was the game that came out before, several years ago. I think 2012 is when it came out, so... if we take a look at the board here, I mean, I've got them both kind of set up here so we could see the size of the boxes are definitely different, but let's look at the player boards and kind of see what's different between the two of those. If you notice, not a whole lot of changes, you know, where this one has like the dig grid. I think it's a little bit more intuitive to look at than looking at this one, and I don't know why, and maybe it's just because I've played Terra Mystica upwards of 40 times, if not more. And I've only played this one, like, I mean, just a handful, really. There are no satellites that get placed out in this one. You do place bridges, but that's a little bit different, kind of the same concept of satellites. So that is one of the main things, though, just between the player boards. But if you notice, they still have, like, what would be houses, trade houses, strongholds. If you go over this way, you have... why can I not think of this? But basically it'd be your temple and then your main temples. Same exact concept as this one. Your 3 power bowls, same exact concept. But if you notice, it's missing this little thing over here, and that's because you don't do with the whole Gaia project thing. You don't do that in Terra Mystica. The tracks are pretty much the same. I didn't pull that up just because it's mainly on the board itself here. You know, it's not a separate one. So basically you would have the round track markers and then the end game where you'd have longest, and this is with Terra Mystica, but you'd have the longest, whoever has the most houses together, and then of course whoever's highest on the cult track, so this is like the end game bonus for Gaia project, and that's the difference. It's already on the main board for Terra Mystica. Now here is the biggest change that I think that they may have actually improved upon between Terra Mystica and Gaia project, and this is the cult track versus the tech track. So if you notice the cult track, it does have favors that you can gain, which are these little technologies that are in Gaia project that you just watched. And it's the same thing, but they set off separate to the side. But with the cult track in Terra Mystica, it's just all about placing priests down here and trying to move up on this cult track. And then just like in Gaia project, if you want to reach the top, you have to have created, you know, in this case, it would be a federation. But you would have to create that to be able to get to the very top, and only one person can claim the top spot. And then you get victory points based upon who did make it to the top. But if you notice, the victory point difference is way different than compared to a Gaia project. Whoever's the highest only gets 8 points, whereas this one, I mean, this one here, I mean, you can get up to 12 points if you can reach all the way to the top. So big contrast in the point differential between the tech track and then the cult track. And then what I do like about the tech track as compared to Terra Mystica is that, you know, it tracks everything for you up here too. So you're getting added bonuses, whereas the cult track used to only get power that would come out. I mean, obviously you would get the favor token, just like the tech token, but then you would only really just gain power. That would be it. Whereas this one's giving you extra even on top of that. So I think the tech track is definitely an improvement upon the cult track from Terra Mystica. The board itself, I think I prefer Terra Mystica, the board, the way it's laid out. Now, I do like the fact that you can change this one up. So from one game to the next, if you wanted to, you could create all kinds of different boards. That is definitely an improvement. But I do find it harder on this one to try to expand and to be able to build than what I do on Terra Mystica. And maybe that's just because I've played this one more, and I really think that's probably all that boils down to be honest with you, is I have played Terra Mystica so much that it almost becomes like intuitive on which race I'm playing as to where I want to build and where I want to go. Whereas this one, it's still maybe just a little too fresh. But what I would say that this one has an advantage on is that ability to create variable boards, because each one of these tiles can be laid out and done in a different manner to where you could create all kinds of different you know, layouts, and that's fun. I do like that part a lot. Now, one other thing too is that this one only plays 4 player, whereas this one does play 5. So that's a big difference. So if you have 5 players that typically come to your game group, then you're going to want to probably get this one versus that one, because that is a big deal to me. Basically, these are the exact same thing as what you would get from the other game. I would say overall, I am somewhat surprised that Gaia Project ranks higher on Board Game Geek than what Terra Mystica does, because I don't really feel that there's been enough that's been improved upon from what I consider one of the absolute best games that's ever been published in Terra Mystica. It was one of the first videos that I ever did as GreyElephant Gaming, and as you notice, I still got the game. I've got the expansion. I've got everything. I think it is just an absolute perfect game. And I don't know if Gaia Project really improved upon what I consider just to be perfection. It's the opus, and they tried to improve upon it. It just doesn't happen. I think the most frustrating part of Gaia Project are these Gaia planets, you know, trying to have to get these Galliformers and trying to, turn them into Gaia projects. I find that frustrating, to be honest with you, tedious, and it almost feels a little tacked on than what I would consider an otherwise really, really good game. I really think if I just didn't have to deal with this, I don't mind, I guess. Okay, so let me be clear. I don't mind the fact that I have to get a Galliformer to place onto the purple planet to maybe then claim it to eventually build on it. Fine, I get that. It's the purple planets that start getting in my crawl, and it's like, boy, it's just a whole nother extra thing and step that you have to think about. And I don't really understand what the purpose of that was, to be honest with you. It just felt I don't know, I mean, it just felt tacked on to me, unnecessary as well. Other than that, I really think that if you wanted to go with either one of the games, you can't really go wrong. I still would prefer Terra Mystica. But if somebody said, hey, we're going to sit down and play Gaia Project, I would still pull up a chair and be like, let's get it on, you know? I mean, I still think both of these games are absolutely phenomenal, and you can't go wrong on either one of them that you choose. Like I said, I may just have a slight edge towards Terra Mystica just because I have a bit more of a love affair with that one, and I just think it's one of those games that just blends and works so perfect, to be honest with you. So overall, I would say, yeah, I like both of these an awful lot. I wouldn't necessarily say one is superior than the other than just personal choice. Do you like space more than you like the fantasy? Then maybe you'd go with Gaia Project. Do you prefer the fantasy aspect of it and what I consider a bit more of a smoother gameplay? Then I would probably go with the Terra Mystica. But it's a tough choice. It really is. This is one of those situations where, like I said, you just simply cannot go wrong. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you would, do me a favor, leave a like, and if you want to subscribe, that'd be phenomenal. It's all very encouraging for me to want to continue making new videos. As usual, you guys are the absolute best. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.